In the sacred journey of every soul, there comes a point where choices create profound shifts in our spiritual path. Edgar spoke extensively about what happens to those who choose to end their physical experience prematurely. His insights, gained through his remarkable connection to universal consciousness, offer not judgment, but compassionate understanding of these transitions. When a soul departs through self-chosen means, what occurs is not the punishment many religious traditions have taught. Instead, there is an awakening, immediate and often startling, into a reality where consciousness continues uninterrupted. The soul finds itself fully aware, no longer burdened by physical pain, yet still carrying the emotional and mental states that precipitated their decision. This moment of transition holds a unique vibration. The soul experiences what might be called a heightened perception, suddenly able to witness the ripples their departure creates among loved ones. It's not forced to watch as punishment. Rather, it's a natural expansion of awareness that occurs when we're no longer limited by physical senses. The emotions that overwhelm the individual in life don't immediately dissolve. In fact, they initially intensify as the soul realizes it has changed dimensions but not escaped the core issues it sought relief from. This realization isn't meant to create regret, but to foster the first seeds of deeper understanding about the eternal nature of consciousness. What many don't understand is that this transition space holds a profound quiet, a stillness unlike anything experienced in physical form. Here, without physical distractions, the soul begins to perceive the loving presence that has always surrounded it. This presence doesn't judge or condemn, it simply embraces with unconditional acceptance. The soul gradually recognizes that what it perceived as an ending was merely a transition. The consciousness that defined its identity remains intact, albeit in a different expression of being. Some souls report an initial period of confusion, where am I? Sensation that gradually gives way to recognition that they continue to exist, just in a different state. Time operates differently in this transitional realm. What might seem like moments could represent longer periods in earthly terms. During this phase, the soul begins to understand that the challenges it faced in physical form were temporary conditions, not permanent states of being. There's often a profound realization that the pain they couldn't bear was part of a larger pattern they couldn't perceive while embodied. The immediate aftermath isn't about judgment, but about gentle awakening to a broader reality. The soul begins to perceive that what it experienced as unbearable suffering was viewed through the narrow lens of physical existence. As awareness expands, so too does the understanding that other paths and choices existed that couldn't be seen through the fog of emotional and mental distress. Many souls report a sensation of being met, not by stern judges, but by compassionate presences who understand completely the journey that led to their decision. These guides don't lecture or condemn. They simply offer their presence as a stabilizing force as the soul adjusts to its new state of being. This transition isn't marked by fire and brimstone, but by a gentle light that grows stronger as the soul's perception clarifies. There's a gradual unveiling of truth, that no soul is ever truly lost, no choice is unredeemable, and that divine love encompasses all expressions of the human journey, even those that society has traditionally condemned. The soul begins to understand that what it experienced as isolation was an illusion. In this new awareness, it perceives the countless connections that have always existed between itself and all of creation. What was hidden in physical life by the veil of separateness now becomes increasingly clear. We have never been alone, even in our darkest moments. This initial phase of transition serves not as punishment, but as healing orientation. The soul is given time and space to acclimate to continued existence beyond physical form. It begins the process of integrating the experience of its final human moments with the broader understanding now available to it, that life continues, consciousness endures, and growth remains possible beyond any single choice or action. The souls who choose to end their physical experience enter what might be called a specialized vibrational field, a realm specifically attuned to their unique needs. This isn't a place of punishment or isolation, as many earthly teachings have suggested. Rather, it's what Edgar described as a consciousness recovery space, where healing begins in earnest. This realm vibrates at a frequency perfectly calibrated, to soothe the intense emotional signatures these souls carry. Here, they find themselves surrounded by entities who specialize in this particular form of spiritual recovery. These helpers are often souls who experience similar transitions in their own journeys and have evolved to serve as compassionate guides for others. The environment itself has qualities that earthly language struggles to capture. It's not a physical place with boundaries and structures, but rather a state of being characterized by a gentle, enveloping energy. This energy acts as a buffer, gradually absorbing the acute emotional pain that accompanied the soul's transition. It's as if the very atmosphere is composed of understanding and acceptance. Within this healing space, souls begin a process that might be understood as energetic unwinding. The tangled emotions, despair, hopelessness, and overwhelming pain that became so compressed in their final physical moments are gently teased apart. This isn't done through analysis or judgment, but through a form of compassionate presence that allows these emotions to be fully acknowledged and then gradually transmuted. Time has little meaning in this realm. What might appear as moments could represent longer periods in earthly measurements. This temporal flexibility allows each soul to progress at precisely the pace it requires. There is no standardized timeline for healing. Some souls require what might translate to years of earthly time, while others move through this phase more quickly. Communication in this realm doesn't rely on words, but operates through direct thought transference and emotional resonance. The guides who assist these souls don't need explanations. They can directly perceive the full tapestry of experiences and feelings that led to the soul's decision. This complete understanding creates a foundation of trust that facilitates deeper healing. A crucial aspect of this transitional realm is that it contains no element of shame. The soul is never made to feel that it has committed an unforgivable act or that it has permanently damaged its spiritual evolution. Instead, there is a pervasive understanding that each soul's journey includes challenges, choices, and learning opportunities across many lifetimes. As healing progresses, the soul begins to perceive its life experiences from a higher perspective. Events that seemed random or cruel begin to reveal their purpose within a larger pattern. Relationships that cause pain show themselves as catalysts for growth. The soul starts to recognize that what it perceived as insurmountable obstacles were, in fact, opportunities for spiritual development that will continue to be available. The guides in this realm help the soul understand that consciousness is eternal and that no single action defines or limits its journey. They facilitate a process of gentle review, not the harsh judgment many fear, but a compassionate examination of the soul's experiences. This review isn't focused solely on final moments, but encompasses the entire life experience, highlighting moments of love, connection, and growth that the soul may have forgotten in its pain. An important element of this healing process involves reconnection. Many souls who choose to end their physical lives report feeling profoundly disconnected from others, from meaning, from hope itself. In this transitional realm, they begin to perceive the connections that always existed but were obscured by suffering. They recognize that they were never truly alone, even in their darkest moments. The healing energies in this realm work to restore the soul's self-perception. Many arrive with a distorted view of their own worth and purpose, a view that contributed to their final decision. The environment gradually helps them remember their intrinsic value, not based on earthly accomplishments or relationships, but simply as an expression of divine consciousness. As recovery progresses, souls begin to understand that their transition wasn't an ending but a pause in their larger journey. They recognize that while they may have stepped out of one experience, new opportunities await. The guides help them understand that divine love doesn't punish or condemn, but continues to offer paths for growth and expression. This transitional realm also provides opportunity for reconciliation. Souls often carry concern about those they left behind, worry about pain caused, relationships interrupted, promises unfulfilled. While they cannot undo their transition, they are helped to understand that healing remains possible across the seeming divide between physical and non-physical existence. They learn that love transcends this boundary and that connection continues in ways they couldn't perceive while embodied. As the soul stabilizes in this healing environment, it gradually regains spiritual equilibrium. The overwhelming emotions that clouded perception begin to clear, revealing a broader landscape of possibilities. The soul doesn't forget its earthly experience, but integrates it into a more expansive understanding of its eternal journey. The journey of souls who have chosen to end their physical existence reveals profound truths about the nature of divine love and the eternal cycle of growth. As these souls progress through their healing in the transitional realm, they enter what Edgar described as the redemptive phase of their journey. Not redemption as religious doctrine often portrays it, but as a natural process of soul restoration and renewed purpose. This redemptive process begins with the recognition that what humans call mistakes are viewed differently from higher perspectives. The soul comes to understand that its choices, even those that caused pain, were made from a limited viewpoint while navigating the complex terrain of human experience. Divine consciousness holds no condemnation for these choices, but sees them as part of the soul's ongoing evolution. What many earthly teachings have misunderstood is that there is no divine punishment awaiting these souls. Instead, there is a profound opportunity for deeper understanding. The soul itself, as it recovers its clearer perception, begins to recognize the lessons embedded within its experiences. This recognition isn't forced or demanded. It emerges naturally as awareness expands beyond the limitations of physical existence. The soul's family and loved ones who have previously transitioned often play crucial roles during this phase. They approach with perfect understanding, free from the judgment that might have existed in physical relationships. Their presence offers familiar comfort as the soul continues to integrate its experiences and prepare for new possibilities. These reunions help heal the sense of isolation that frequently accompanied the soul's final physical decisions. Higher spiritual guides also participate in this redemptive process. These beings, who exist at frequencies of pure compassion, help the soul recognize its eternal nature beyond any single lifetime or decision. They facilitate what might be described as consciousness restoration, helping the soul remember its broader identity and purpose. This restoration doesn't erase the experiences of the previous life, but places them within a more comprehensive context. As healing progresses, many souls begin to express what can only be called a renewed courage. Having experienced the depths of despair in physical form, and then the healing embrace of unconditional love beyond it, they often develop a desire to return to physical experience. This desire isn't born of punishment or obligation, but emerges from the soul's own recognition that embodied experience offers unique opportunities for growth and service. The decision to reincarnate after such an experience represents profound spiritual bravery. The soul, now understanding more clearly the challenges of physical existence, chooses to return, not to repeat previous patterns, but to experience life with expanded awareness. This choice isn't made lightly or immediately. The soul is given all the time it needs to heal and prepare before considering re-embodiment. When a soul does choose to return, it does so with specific intentions shaped by its experiences. Often, these souls seek opportunities to develop greater compassion, both for themselves and others experiencing similar struggles. They frequently choose life circumstances that will help them strengthen qualities that were underdeveloped in their previous experience: resilience, self-acceptance, the ability to reach out for support, or the capacity to find meaning even in difficult circumstances. The preparation for return involves careful planning with spiritual guides. The soul reviews potential life patterns, relationships, and challenges that would best serve its continued evolution. This isn't about punishment through difficult circumstances, but about creating optimal conditions for the particular growth that soul seeks. These choices are made from a place of wisdom and self-knowledge, not imposed by external judgment. A profound truth that Edgar shared about this process is that these souls often return with special sensitivities and gifts. Having experienced the extremes of human suffering and then the expansive healing of unconditional love, they develop unique capacities for empathy, intuitive understanding, and compassionate presence. Many become healers, counselors, artists who express deeper truths, or simply individuals with extraordinary capacity to recognize and respond to suffering in others. The soul carries forward the wisdom gained from its experiences, though the specifics of its previous life may be veiled once it returns to physical form. This veiling isn't punishment, but a necessary condition that allows for new experiences without being overwhelmed by complete memory of all that came before. Nevertheless, the essential learnings remain as intuitive knowledge, inner guidance, and natural inclinations. The greatest revelation in understanding this entire process is recognizing the sacred nature of all life experience. The soul comes to understand that every moment of existence, whether in physical form or beyond it, offers opportunities for growth, expression, and the expansion of love. This understanding transforms how the soul perceives its own journey, replacing judgment with compassion and fear with acceptance. Those who remain in physical form often wonder about loved ones who have chosen to end their lives. The wisdom Edgar shared offers profound reassurance. These beloved souls are neither lost nor condemned, but are engaged in their own journey of healing and growth. The connections formed through love remain intact across the seeming divide between physical and non-physical existence. Communication continues, though in ways that physical senses may not always recognize. The entire process, from transition through healing to potential return, reveals the infinite patience of divine love. There is no rush, no demand, no timeline imposed. Each soul moves through these experiences at precisely the pace it requires, surrounded by support perfectly attuned to its needs. This patience itself is a teaching, showing us that true healing cannot be forced, but unfolds naturally when the right conditions are provided. The ultimate message in Edgar's teachings about these transitions is that every soul remains eternally valuable, eternally loved, and eternally connected to the source of all being. No decision, no matter how painful its consequences, can separate a soul from divine love or eliminate its potential for growth and service. In this understanding, we find not just comfort for those who have departed, but wisdom for how we might live with greater compassion and awareness while in physical form. If these teachings on the soul's journey have resonated with you, please take a moment to subscribe to this channel for more spiritual wisdom. Your comments and reflections below create a valuable space for our community to share insights and support one another. Remember, each subscription helps spread these messages of healing and hope to those who need them most. Share your thoughts below. Your perspective might be exactly what someone else needs to hear today.